Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War Invasions, week 17, day 7. So, we have a lot of things to go over today, but yeah, we have two particularly interesting things coming next week. The biggest one, well actually there's two biggest ones, I guess it's relative which one is considered the biggest. The biggest one for me personally is Nintendo Switch version is launching supposedly on Tuesday. It is still approximate. It has not been 100% confirmed yet for Tuesday, but it probably is. We also haven't gotten a exact time yet, which we might get a day before. However, no official absolute this is when it's going to happen time has been given yet, but we'll probably know that soon. Probably the next day, possibly by the end of Salty's stream tomorrow, if she's even streaming. I forget who is, but we'll probably know by tomorrow night, most likely. When on Earth it's coming out on Tuesday. Other than that, the other big thing, which most people are probably caring about, is the new hero class that's coming out this Friday. We are getting the Plague Lord that's going to come out on, of course, Friday as the weekend-long event. It's a new hero class that's going to be coming out for the Kingdom of Darkstone, and that is very, very relevant, as Darkstone is currently restricted on its leveling due to not having a hero class, and this will make it go up to, I keep forgetting if it's 14 or 15 stars. I believe it's actually 15 stars, but regardless, it's going to go up the highest amount of stars that a kingdom ever has or ever will increase in one single day. So, yeah, that's going to be pretty interesting. The most relevant part about this is not exactly that it's getting so big of an increase, so that's somewhat relevant as well, but more so that the increase is for +1 magic, and of course, this would make it the first +3 kingdom in the entire game for magic. And magic is one of the best stats in the game, so really, really nice. The first of many. I'll, of course, be getting more in the future, but as it stands, Darkstone will be the first one this Friday. And those are the main two things. The other one, of course, is let's go over the event. It is a Glacial Peaks event. Oops, I would help if I bring it up instead of just going over it without showing it. Where'd it go? There it is. But there is the troop that we're going to be getting, a rare for green-yellow. As far as its ability, it's... oops, that's too small. That one isn't. It freezes an enemy and creates 6 blue, boosted by frozen enemies, and that's a 3x boost ratio each. So if the entire enemy team is frozen, that'd be a total of 12 additional blue, or 12 additional blue for a total of 18 blue. So you could get 12 potential blue just from the boost ratio on top of that 6. So on average, you're probably going to have 2 frozen on the enemy team, so it's going to be about 12 gem spawn most of the time, though it can go as high as 18, so that's kind of interesting. Unfortunately, wait, I did math wrong there. Wait, no, that's right. Never mind. Never mind, that's right. But yeah, it can do a maximum of 18, is basically the bottom line. It does have fast, however, I don't think this is really going to be used for mana accumulation that often. You would have to freeze out the entire enemy team, and there aren't too many good things for doing that. Maybe Borealis, but why on earth would you use a random beast on a Borealis team? Maybe Queen Mab, it would kind of work there, however, that's still going to be kind of average too. I don't know, maybe as a really cheap first slot for just this team. Oh, maybe we'll do that with it. I didn't think about that. Oh wait, no, there wouldn't be enough room. Yes, it would, but you'd have to replace out Valkyrie, so what would be the point? Never mind, yeah, this thing's useless. I'm trying to think of like a single instance, and that's probably like the best thing it could be used for, but Valkyrie's better. So yeah, it's useless. I guess this is one of those rares that never gets used. Speaking about things that never get used, we have a Doom weapon coming in tomorrow that shall be dead content immediately. It's already dead content. It's not even in the game yet. It's just one of those life ones for yellow. There's no point in ever using this weapon. If you're going to upgrade a yellow weapon, hopefully you have the previous yellow Doom weapon. Just go upgrade that weapon instead, because this one is pointless. Don't do it. You might as well just save your... still accumulate. Still get the weapon if you want, of course, and still get all the scrolls. But do not throw your scrolls on this. Just save them for a later time. Those little yellow upgrade scroll things. I forget what they're called. But, yeah, this thing is pointless. So, yeah, 2 useless troops, basically, or a useless troop and a useless weapon. But it is Glacial Peaks. You'll be able to get Borealis, Queen Mab, and Scotty from event keys. The most noteworthy of those 3 being Queen Mab, as one of the best, if not the best, freezer in the entire game, depending on your team that you're using. Anyways, let's go get that out the way. And time to go do some other things. So, this week, or it is still a Vault event. Vault event is still going on right now for another 6 hours and 49 minutes. With that being said, I'm somewhat tempted to go grind it right now. So I think we might. I haven't been doing my dungeons much this week, though nor will I for probably another next week. But poor Warren's all on its own. And as you guys saw earlier, one other thing I forgot to just mention real quick. We have an absurd amount of maps and event keys right now. As you might have noticed, our glory stack is below 1 million. And that's because we just did a video earlier where we spent 500,000 glory buying the Spoils of War for an entire hour. And now we have 5,012 event keys. So that's pretty funny. Of course, the Spoils of War will not be unlimited starting next patch. And they are buffing event keys next patch. So with those two combination factors, it's kind of worth doing that. Don't take out your whole stack for it. But you might want to consider doing that to some degree prior to next patch. Next patch is almost guaranteed not coming this week because of the Nintendo Switch launch. So I highly doubt they would do both simultaneously. However, next week, as in a week from now, or the following week, we'll probably have the patch. But this week, currently, probably will not, due to the Nintendo Switch release. Because they'll probably be focused on making sure that doesn't completely fail. Or fixing it if it does. But anyways, so, let's go on to the grind. I believe we still needed Mist of Skills, if I'm not mistaken. No, it was Zolkiri. So let's go work on Zolkiri a little bit. Of course, we're still using this team, still using it with Sentinel, still trying to get the leveling onto Sentinel. Not maxed yet, but we'll get there. Hey, hello everyone. Hello William. Hello Mulu. Hello Churros. Hello Skeleton King. Hello, I have no clue how to say that name. I believe you explained it last time too, but I still didn't get it. Hello Pim. Hello Original. Pim being the one I don't know how to say, or the rest of it. Let's see. Hello Original. Hello Joe T. Is it against the rules to exit out of Explore without gnomes? No. That shouldn't be against the rules. Are you constantly doing it to try to get more gnomes? I'm not sure if that would be against the rules. I'm not even sure if that's possible. That used to not be possible, but since they fixed gnome glitch, it might be possible now. Because in fixing gnome glitch, they might have glitched it so it's... actually, the whole reason why gnome glitch was a thing was because of the way that they fixed it to prevent people from constantly exiting Explore to exploit it. So now that they got rid of it, there might be an exploit in place of the exploit. I'm actually not sure because I didn't bother testing it. But I hope there isn't. I'm pretty sure it still has a check to make sure that doesn't happen. I actually have no clue if that's bannable or not. I honestly do not know. So probably don't do it just in case. But yeah, I have no clue if that's bannable or not. It's not exactly gnome rate picking, but I don't know. It's hard to tell sometimes. I honestly never really know what they consider exploiting. Some things are like really obvious, but ones like those are really hard to tell if it is or isn't, based on their definition of what an exploit is. Hello, Medieval. Hello, Lone Wolf. Hello, Cherry Top. Hello, Daryl. Only 2 Volt keys. Ouch. Yeah, that can happen. We're actually at a 16 total this weekend, which is one of our better weekends, 10 of which was in one day. It's just because we got a really, really lucky Friday. I've actually gotten 0 so far today, but I've only been farming for about an hour throughout the day, so that's mainly why. Yeah, we did almost all of it on Friday. We got 10 on Friday, 6 yesterday, and 0 today. However, we did farm the exact same amount of time pretty much on Friday and Saturday, yet we got 10 on Friday and 6 on Saturday. So we got 4 less despite doing it essentially the exact same amount of time. Yeah, you can get luckier or unluckier. We have gone entire events where we've gone 0 Volkies. Actually, that's only ever happened once. But we have gone once. With, I think it was about 15 hours. I always say like a different time every time, but it's sometime around 15 hours, where we went about 15 hours straight without getting a single Volkey. Of course, we still got plenty of gnomes along the way, just no specifically Volkeys. How many people can use the codes you give? The codes I give, I have no clue. It tends to change over time. It's somewhere around a few hundred. And the reason why that depletes, even if we only have, let's say, like 50 or 100 people in the stream, is mainly because people share it with guilds, people sometimes use it for other people, and sometimes people share it on global chat or other locations. And of course, the more it spreads, the quicker it dies. So even if there's only like how many viewers there are right now, even if there's only like 50 at a given moment in time, it would still, even if it has hundreds of claims, it would still die within like 15 to 30 minutes, just because it gets spread so much. And that would even be more of the case if it ever becomes cross-platform. Though if it ever does, they'll probably expand how much the limit is. Something that was suggested too was for them to make it unlimited, but make it timed. So like 1 hour after the first code is used, or the first instance of it. But they didn't end up bothering doing that, just because it would be too much work for almost no benefit. So they haven't done that. Also, they're afraid that it might be exploited, because obviously if any number of people could claim it, that means it could be claimed literally tens of thousands of times. Obviously not by the same account, but across multiple accounts. Whereas right now it's capped at just a few hundred. Let's see. For Firebomb done. Was Clockwork Sphinx what you try to remember for armor buff? I don't believe so. Well, you can use it as an armor buffer, though. It's a pretty decent one. It's nice in that it has good board control. It's normally only used in the context of a mech team, though. But there are a few instances you can use it, mainly Rowain. Rowain and Tina are like the two biggest ones. Rowain, Tina, and Tesla. What's the new class and new patch coming this week? New class, yes. New patch, no. New patch is probably not until another week or two. As in 7 days, or as in 8 days, or 15 days from now, most likely. Either next week's Tuesday or the following week's Tuesday. Not this week's Tuesday. Is likely when the patch will be. It's not guaranteed, though. There's no official date yet. Early April is when the patch is coming. No official date. Oh, a lot of gnomes all of a sudden. Still no keys, though. Nice, you're going to drop one. So 1,000 glory is probably better. So just drop 1,000 glory. That, or we'll go up to lucky 7. Get up to 17 for today. For the weekends. Oh, no, 1,000. I'm actually perfectly fine with that. That's probably a better drop than a vault key with how bad our luck has been this weekend. And hey, 1,000 glory. We're one step closer to replenishing back to 1,000,000. We are ever so slightly closer. One small step. But yeah. We obviously are down a lot of glory. We spent a little over 500,000 glory today. Gotta make some of that back. Hello, Christy. Welcome. Oh, yeah, Major Orb from Invasions. Thank you for reminding me. I do need to go claim that. I almost forgot. That should be sitting there. And I believe my guild already has it done. I don't see why they wouldn't. And if they don't, then we can easily go do it. Yeah, let me go claim that real quick. I completely forgot. I knew there was something I was forgetting at the beginning of the stream. And that would be it. Also, while we're there, let's go do dungeons, too. But, yep, there's our orb. As to be expected. Okay. So, place your bets now. If it is a blue, I'll give out a redeem code immediately. But place your bets. What's the new class and the new patch is coming this week? Oh, wait, what's the new... Oh, wait, never mind. I already said that. But yeah, new patch a week or two from now, most likely. New class this Friday. Yeah, place your bets. Blue. Blue's the only bet so far. How do I earn glory so easily? The easiest way is to do glory gnomes, or to try to find glory gnomes during vault events. Vault events have the highest amount of glory within the game. You can end up farming about 1,000 to 2,000 glory per hour. We literally already got 1,000. It's only been 15 minutes, not even, just from one single gnome. So, yeah, it could stack up to quite a bit during vault events. Unfortunately, vault events only occur about 3 days out of every month. But it's still going on for several more hours, so you still have some time. Other than that, the next best method of farming glory is whenever there is a +5 glory troop available for PvP, doing that in every single PvP battle, on 1 trophy battles, on casual PvP, or on any PvP battle that you can win quickly, ends up yielding the highest amount of glory. Please be blue. Oh, we did it! We broke all of our luck. To imagine that this event was the thing to break all of our luck. But there we go. We get nothing. This is worth more than the 30... How many vault keys have we even opened this weekend? I think it was 31, right? We've obtained 16. We opened... No, we opened more than that. Let's see. What's 27 plus 16? That's 43. We've opened 43 vault keys. Yet this one orb is worth more than all 43 vault keys we just opened. That's sad. But anyways, we did it. Well, I did say we'd get a code or hand out a code if we got it. But yeah, we're one step closer to Zhu Guff. Unfortunately, one goal I had this weekend to try to get Zhu Guff did not happen. We got ultra unlucky on vault keys. So unfortunately that didn't happen, but we are very close now. I know I didn't forget the code. We're about 5 small blues orbs away. I think 5 or 6. I'm not going to do the math now. But we're really close. Very, very close. So we'll have Zhu Guff soon TM. But anyways, let me go get the code. Before everyone else starts saying squirrel. Also, I asked them for more codes. We actually only have 4 left. We'll make that 3 after I hand out this one. Which will basically just last us until Tuesday, pretty much. Actually, Wednesday. Let's see. Okay, we'll put that down. Hand this out onto the code section. Or actually, let me use it first. Make sure it even works. Yes, it does. Move that there. Refresh. Paste that. Copy the whole thing. And send it to you guys. The squirrel. Squirrel emoji. Actually, it's chipmunk, but it's close enough. Anyways, guys, there's the redeem code. Use it on gemsofwar.com underneath the game code section, or simply click that link. Your invite code is found underneath your settings menu, whatever your game says there. Redeem code is, yeah, the redeem code is, I said it right the first time. The redeem code is over in chat right there. Just copy paste the random numbers and letters, and gives the same reward as always: 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. Too bad it doesn't drop any glory. And how big is our map stack again? It's 14,056. Feels so weird seeing that over 9,000. Over 9,000 and over 10,000 as well. Like 5 digits. I highly doubt we'll ever get it to 6 digits. I can't say digits. 6 digits. Digits. Why is that word being so hard right now? Anyways, that's that. Got really lucky on there. So yay. We finally got a major blue. I still need another one plus a small blue or 2. And then we'll finally have Zhu Guff. However, I will not be crafting Zhu Guff immediately. Unless Karkaroff is 10 plus stars, I am not crafting Zhu Guff. But once Karkaroff becomes 10 plus stars, assuming we have the resources for it, I will. Because Karkaroff's a magic kingdom, and +1 magic is obviously very important. And even though Zhu Guff is so super ultra expensive, it is worth it to do that. Oh, do keep in mind, by the way, you don't need Zhu Guff for Karkaroff level 10. Possibly initially it might require it, probably not though. But overall, you won't need it, because they are going to be adding a second Mythic to Karkaroff, which if I'm not mistaken is actually coming in a few months from now. But a second Mythic is going to be occurring to Karkaroff. It's going to be the first only kingdom for quite a while that will have 2 Mythics. But the main reason for this is they understand that Zhu Guff is near impossible to get. It's more of like a vanity item than something that you would actually bother getting. But because of that, they are going to be adding another Mythic to Karkaroff in the near future. However, despite that, it will always be, you will always have 1 star higher on Karkaroff if you own Zhu Guff compared to not owning it once it becomes 10 plus stars. At the current moment, it has no star effect on it, but in the near future it will. And once it does, then we'll craft it. But at the moment, there is no actual benefit to owning Zhu Guff, other than just saying you own Zhu Guff. What's coming out in the next patch? We are getting a complete chat overhaul, so it'll work properly. We're getting some new features in there that will self-moderate chat, as well as emojis, titles, and just making the chat screen better overall. You'll be able to multi-buy everything in the Glory Shop. So, for example, if you want to buy enough copies of the new event troop on Mondays in order to get it to Mythic, you will simply go and click a button telling it that you want it to upgrade it to Legendary or Mythic. Then you click a button again, which will auto-buy all of them. And then, boom, within just a few clicks, you'll be able to buy all of them. You'll be able to do that for everything, including stuff like maps. Unfortunately, Spoils of War, while Spoils of War will have it, it'll be capped at only 10. Which is why we're spending all of earlier this morning, or, you know, an hour earlier, buying Spoils of War. Because that will be limited to only 10 per week starting next patch. And other than that, some other things is we're getting potions during all events. Potions are basically traits or extra stats during various events. This is mainly to help newer players and mid-range players be able to get further in events. This will be particularly useful for people that struggle to get any of the, or all of the rewards on a given event for things like Raid, Invasions, Bounty Hunter, and other similar various events. If you're currently struggling to get any of those done, it will be a little bit easier, assuming you have some gems to throw down for it. But there'll be that. That will also cause level 500 Pure Faction to be slightly easier. It's not the main fix that they're doing to be able to complete level 500 Pure Factions. However, it will assist in doing so whenever a new kingdom comes out. and I'm pretty sure someone will be crazy enough to try it on a Tuesday as well. However, it would take a lot of time to try to do it on a Tuesday. But yeah, potions are basically just things during all events, which will allow you just some extra stats. It basically just makes the events easier. However, it does make the events slightly more pay to win. However, they were already pay to win, so it doesn't matter. Make it something that's pay to win, more pay to win. Doesn't really change it much. The main purpose behind what they're doing is to make it easier for newer and mid-range players. But anyways, other things. What was the other thing I wanted to mention that comes in? We're getting balance updates. We have no clue what any of the rebalance is. Actually, I shouldn't say that. We know one rebalance that they're doing, and that is Blessed will have immune to transform. Other than that, we have not the slightest clue what a single rebalance is going to be. For all we know, they could nerf Skeleton Key or nerf the almighty Firebomb. No, I highly doubt they would nerf those two, but they're probably going to be doing some kind of rebalance, probably more towards buffs than nerfs. But they better not touch this Explore team. No, there's plenty of alternatives even if they do. This has been pretty solid for pretty much since Firebomb Sunbird existed. But yeah, they are doing some kind of rebalance. We have no clue what it will be. And that's pretty much all of the stuff coming in next patch. There might be a few other smaller things I just forgot to mention right there. That's a good majority of it. It's more so quality of life and a chat update for the most part, as far as all the things that they're going to be doing. Oh, that's one really big one that they're actually adding from a quality of life perspective. You'll be able to search for negative banners. And what that means is, let's say you're using a team. It uses every color except, let's say, yellow. You can now search for banners based on minus yellow or minus red or whatever minus color you are looking for. That's going to be really nice since there's starting to become so many banners. But yeah, the search options for banners are way better. So you can find one that has a positive into blue while having like a minus into, let's say, red or something. So yeah, it makes it a lot easier to find banners. They also have auto suggest banner, where you click a button and it'll automatically pick a banner for you. I'm still not 100% sure how good that works, but it works good enough that if you're planning on using a team for like 5 to 15 minutes, it's worth using because it will actually net save you time most likely. If you're actually planning on doing an actual team, you'll probably want to like actually pick out your banner. But if nothing else, it'll help newer players kind of understand what kind of banners to pick for the most part. Because I haven't really seen it pick a bad banner yet for the most part. I haven't tested to see if it'll actually pick the most optimal banner every time for every team. But it picks something that's at least somewhat okay with the team every time. So it's kind of good for if you're like, let's say, building a daily task team where you have something like use 3 of this troop 15 times. For stuff like that, it's going to be really good because that normally only takes like several minutes. So the amount of time it would take you to go figure out what the banner is not really worth it. So you would just click the button that auto picks the banner for you. And stuff like that is where it would mainly be used. And stuff if like for pet battles that are super quick and other similar things, where you're only planning on using the team for a very short duration. Okay, we'll get that down. Sunbird it. No, well, we don't know if there's going to be nerfs. I was just joking around, though there probably will be nerfs of some kind. They normally stick more towards buffs than nerfs, but I wouldn't be surprised if they nerf something. I don't know what they would nerf, though, because nothing is, like, excessively ridiculous right now. Like, Lust is annoying, but it's really easy to deal with if you actually build a team that deals with it. Dragon's Eye was just fixed the other day, so that was, like, one of the only ones where you could kind of make an argument for it being a little bit too overpowered. But, I don't know, what would they really nerf? There isn't really too many things that are, like, super outrageous right now as far as how good they are. Honestly, this is probably the most balanced the game has ever been. It's nowhere near perfectly balanced, not even remotely close. But, it's probably the most balanced the game has ever been. The current state it is. And that'll probably be fixed even slightly more so with the next patch. How long till Iron Gut is in Soulforge again? We don't currently know. He is currently on this rotation, though he could literally be next week. However, it could be anywhere from 1 week to like 8 weeks. There's no way of really knowing. We know what's not in the drop table, but we never know what's in the drop table. The list to check the current cycle is right over here. Let me go get the link for it. But this link right over here shows the current cycle. Where to go? Chess odds, history, Soulforge. Here we go. This link right here has the history on it. So under Mythic cycle, on Mythic cycle 10, you want to basically figure out You basically, on whatever cycle it's currently on, subtract all of them of the current cycle from the total number of mythics there are in the game, and any of them that are not currently shown from that cycle are potentially going to be possible on the following week. So, for example, we are on cycle 10 right now, so we don't know what's going to be next week, though we do know what will not be in next week. Oh, wait, never mind. High King Iron Gut isn't. Wait, he's craftable right now? Yeah, wait. Hold up. I didn't even realize that. Hold up. He won't be craftable for a while, then. Never mind. He's going to be anywheres from... Well, we know what he's not going to be in a drop table, and because of that, that means, it's, based on how far the cycle's already gone, that means it's anywheres from about 7 weeks to, like... Let's see. I forget how long the current cycle goes because how many mythics. But yeah, it's like anywhere from like 6 to 14 weeks from now. It'll be a while. It's going to be quite a while because he literally just came out now and the cycle is pretty fresh. But as far as what will not be in the Soul Forge next week, everything that will not be in the Soul Forge is Elamagrim, High King Iron Gut, Jotnar, Undyne, Amnesia, Gargantar, Plague, Possessed King, Death, Ketris, and Queen Aurora. Literally any other mythic could be in the game. Any other mythic could be within the Soul Forge next week, other than those that I just mentioned. And that's applicable for the next 6 or so weeks until the cycle completes. And then after that, the cycle just repeats again, and then it's just random based on every single mythic in the game. It's why I can never say on today what next week's is going to be. We just know what's not in the drop table. We never know what is in the drop table. As far as specifics. We take care with our Sunbird. There we go. Fingers crossed for Ferris Ra. Well, Ferris Ra's in event keys right now if you want him. Ferris Ra is still in event keys for about 6 more hours. If you want to open some Spoils of War for it or spend some gems on it to get event keys, or if you have some event keys laying around. He is in the event key drop table. The chance is not the greatest, though, of course. It could take potentially 800 event keys or so to actually unlock him. But you could get lucky with 10 or 50. But he is technically in the event key drop table right now. A Ferris Ra. Let's see. But yes, he could theoretically be in Soul Forge next week as well. He is currently on this rotation. So it could be next week, it could be the following week, it could be any week in the next 6 weeks or so. Should you get Gargantar for Kingdom level? You would have to have more than half the mythics in the game for Gargantar to be worth leveling, or to be worth obtaining for any reason. Gargantar is basically the worst mythic in the game. The only reason you would ever get it is because you have literally every other Kingdom mythic and every other relevant mythic in the game. So probably not. But if you do happen to have... If you have literally every other Kingdom epic, or I mean every other Kingdom mythic for the most part, as well as all the good mythics, then yes. But not prior to that. But yeah, he does give you +1 attack if you have 10 star. Or wait, he is for an attack kingdom, right? Either attack or HP, I forget. Or armor. It's one of those 3. Well, that's kind of broad. I forget which one he's for. Oh no, it used to be attack. I think it's for 1 armor now. Never mind. For 1 armor. But yeah, it's not that worth it. Armor's not even that good, and he's the worst mythic in the game. You'd have to have nearly everything else before you would consider doing that. What did I take here? Let's take that for now. Need a red or a purple, or anything that will do damage. There we go. I'll take the red instead of skull because that's actually going to wipe him. And if it doesn't, the other hit will. Hello, Kevin! Welcome. You already spent 150 event keys. Should you spend 150? Yes, if and only if you don't currently own Bone Dragon or Keeper of Souls, or you don't own them at Mythic. As long as you don't have every legend from the Kingdom Mythic, it is worth throwing event keys for it to try to get the Mythic. But yeah, as long as your legends aren't Mythic yet. If your legends are Mythic, then you should stop throwing event keys at that kingdom. But if your legends are not Mythic yet, you know, ascended to Mythic, then it's still fine to go spend event keys for it if you really want the Mythic. But for the most part, you should never spend event keys on a kingdom that you already own everything except for the Mythic at Mythic. Because you're basically just wasting your resources. The only time you ever do that is if you're like 5 mythics short of all completion. But anything prior to that, you're just wasting your resources if everything in the kingdom's already mythic, but the mythic. If that makes any sense. Or you know what I mean. If everything's already ascended to mythic, and you're still missing the mythic, then it's not ever worth throwing event keys, unless you're just working on like the last few mythics in the entire game. Because you're basically just wasting all your resources just for an attempt at a mythic drop, because you're getting no other drops in return of value. We'll throw that down. There we go. It's pretty much always better to forge the mythic because it's 100% chance. But yeah, it's 100% chance, so you know for sure you're gonna get it. It does take a while to get that many diamonds. It takes like 2 to 3 months or so, possibly even 4, depending on the methods of which you're accumulating them. As long as you do your daily dungeons, I think it comes out to a little over 3 months, I believe, for free mythic. And then you can craft any mythic in the entire game essentially for free. Meaning whatever the strongest thing is at any given time, or the most useful thing, you could always have capability of crafting. Like Infernus, Ferrous Raw, Iron Gut, Worldbreaker, stuff like that. Okay, we don't really have a good option there, so let's do that. We'll take that. Oh no, he's probably going to do something. Yep, he's going to do that. Oh, we almost lost our first slot, oddly enough. I don't have any way to kill that, do we? Not enough damage. Why is this battle being so annoying all of a sudden? Okay, well, let's take our red there. Even if he hits us, I think that's still enough damage. So we'll do that, dead. Oh, no, it wouldn't have been. He would have done triple damage to us and killed us. I forgot. Web Spinner does do triple damage to webbed enemies now. He ended up getting that several months ago, around the time when Arachne Weaver came out. Synergized with Arachne Weaver. Okay, let's just get an explosion now. Go from there, take that skull, grab all that. And nice little shuffle. That over. Let's see. Put that down. Dragon Soul, Ferrous Raw, Umbra Wolf with Darkstone trait and Azurus. How many years to get 1 million souls? Dragon Soul, it doesn't take that long. Dragon Soul, Ferrous Raw, Umbra Wolf with Darkstone traits. Or Darkstorm trait. That would be around, well, it depends on your bonuses, but that is approximately around 35,000, give or take 5,000, if I'm not mistaken, souls per hour. It depends a lot on your speed at which you do it and other bonuses, various bonuses. But if I'm not mistaken, it is roughly 35,000 souls per hour. So if you break that down into a million, what does that come out to? It's just a million divided by that as the approximate. Could vary by about 10% or so. Might be even a little bit more than that. But let's see, 35,000 into that. Should only take you about 28.5 hours from 0 souls, which isn't too bad. That's a lot of time, but that can theoretically be done in 1 week. Let's see. But yeah, a lot of people make Dawnbringer out to be like this really, really insanely hard weapon to obtain. But as far as mythics are concerned, it's actually technically quicker to obtain Dawnbringer than it is to obtain all the diamonds required to obtain any mythic you want. Because that normally takes like 2 to 3 months, or even sometimes even 4, to obtain all the diamonds. Whereas getting Dawnbringer, like I said, you could theoretically do in a week, realistically do in a month. But it's possible to get it done in not that long of a time at all. You grind it out. The most reason why people don't do that is it's pretty tedious doing proper soul farming teams. Because all it is doing the exact same challenge over and over again with the exact same team, doing the exact same strategy. But it does get a little tedious though. But if you are going to do it during vault events. You could have it done in a single vault event with all the extra souls that you get from soul gnomes, as well as just all the other drops in general. And next vault event is April 26th, by the way. If you wanted to do it that weekend, you could literally get it done in those 3 days if you had a lot of spare time. So you'd probably want to do it prior to that. But it's always best to do it during Gnome events. Or really, you could do it, I don't know, I guess you could technically do it anytime. But if you wanted the absolute high soul rate in the game, that automatically adds like an extra 5 to 10,000 souls per hour on top of whatever the soul rate already was. It's actually possible to reach around 60,000 souls per hour with double, triple, and quad Ferris Raw teams during a Gnome event. Just because you're not just getting like a little over 50,000 souls per hour, but you're also getting all the souls from the soul gnomes and other various loot. Should you save vault keys? No, there's not really any need to save vault keys. The only reason you may have seen me somewhat saving them in the past is in case they ever add another gnome. But that's the only reason, if you want 100% completion by owning every gnome. But it's not even worth owning every gnome. Other than Cedric, no gnome is actually worth anything. Every single gnome is, or every single vault key drop that is a troop is completely pointless, other than Cedric. So assuming you own Cedric, yeah, there's really not much of a point in holding your keys. You might as well spend them immediately once you get them. There is technically an ever so slightly higher chance of getting a vault key from a vault key during a vault event, and we actually got our first one ever. However, we opened hundreds of them and only ever gotten one from it, so I'm not sure how much it really increases it. But to my understanding, there is an increase of vault key chance off of vault keys, which I guess technically save it for vault events then, but that's like the longest you would ever bother saving it. And since there's so little value, you might as well just use them immediately, especially in early and mid game, because the loot that you would get from a vault key is going to help you more than the slight chance of possibly getting a vault key from a vault key by waiting for the event. Hey, you got a vault key, nice. Also, we just gained another level. Sentinel, getting there, ever so slowly. But progress is being made. Actually, when is the next Sentinel Hero Class event? Because I'm probably going to buy it out the next time we see it. If we don't already have it maxed by then. We'll probably already have it maxed by then, actually. Let me go check. I don't think it's for a while. Obviously, it won't be next week. Next week is, what's it called? Next week is, not Darkstone, Plague Lord. Anyways, let me go and, what am I looking for? I'm looking for, that's not it. That's all the new hero classes that are coming into the game. What I want to see is the new events coming in. Let me type in class. Actually, let me just type in, Sentinel. Nope. Okay, Sentinel is not coming within the next month. We currently only know up to April 26th. We'll probably have more of an update into the future as far as when next patch comes out. Because normally when a patch comes out, the files get updated. And when the files get updated, people will peek at the files and see months ahead of time as far as what's going to be available. So once next patch comes out, we'll probably be able to see further into the future. But currently we can only see up to April 26th. There you go, throw a firebomb down. Plus, even if we could see too much into the future, they tend to change their plans if it's too far away at any given time. What delve will be easy to max Renown? With the new setup next patch, are you referring to, or just in general? As far as the absolute easiest faction in the entire game to max out Renown, that is Crypt. And the reason for this is Lady Mirana. Lady Mirana has a chance to instant kill at around a 20 to 30% chance or so. And this mechanic allows you to win out level 500 easier than any other delve, simply because if you get lucky enough, it's only a matter of time before you basically hit 12 instant kills in a row and win out the entire delve. It is extremely luck-based, but it can actually be done at level 100. It is the only delve in the entire game, and probably that will ever be in the entire game, where you can actually complete the delve realistically at level 100. Most other delves require you to go to like 200 plus for the most part to actually be able to complete it. That or use potions or some kind of new mechanic that might come in the future. But as it currently stands, Crypt is the absolute easiest to try getting. Hey, there's Lady Mirana. To try getting 2,500 renown if you're trying to get it for the achievement or just for the sake of having a max faction. But yeah, it's because of her. She has a 10% instant kill with a 2% per purple on the board. You run 3 of her with Graveseer, and Graveseer creates purples. You don't actually necessarily use it to get more purples, however, that does obviously help her, because it increases her kill chance slightly. But the main reason actually for having the Graveseer is to counter the enemy's Graveseer on the first and final battle. because you don't want purple mana going into the true damage troop, because that true damage troop could possibly one-shot you. If you don't have enough stats, the final battle can actually one-shot you with true damage. It's not required to have enough stats to outlive it, but it does make the battle harder. We actually did it without being able to survive the one-shot, but we did have some upgrades. Not enough to survive the one-shots, but enough upgrades to not die as often and to have slightly higher attack. Any delve except Warrens, pretty much. Warrens is so good to farm. I'm still actually surprised they haven't nerfed it. Warrens is hands down the best farming delve in the game. It's not even close. Especially since it gives arcanes. Even ignoring the arcane fact, it's already the best. And then you just add those arcanes on top. It's like, why did they make it so ridiculously good? So weird. Because there's basically now infinite green, yellow arcanes in the economy now. Because of Warrens. Because it's the only delve, for whatever reason, that drops arcanes on the final battle. So now green, yellow arcanes are essentially useless. Speaking of that, that's the arcane that's available next week. Go figure. That's unfortunate. Okay, we'll throw down that. Still no vault keys. Come on, let's at least get that lucky 7. Let's get to 17. Hopefully we'll get it. Hello, Mercy! Welcome! Yeah, it doesn't have full mana yet. Take a purple right there. Okay, just throw Firebomb down. And dead. You spent 8,000 gems on event keys for your third Ferris Raw, and had no luck. Ooh, that hurts. Well, don't overspend that much on it, though. If you're spending that much on it, I assume you have most other things in the game, because you really shouldn't be going that far just to try getting a third Ferris Raw. Most teams are perfectly fine with 2. There is a slight increase with 3 Ferris Raws. However, the good bulk of the increase is from owning 1 and 2. The 3rd and 4th have almost no effect. While 3 and 4 are technically slightly higher, particularly 3 compared to 4. It basically keeps having diminishing return. The first one gives you the best amount of value. Even though each one of them give you technically the exact amount of increase, the overall rate per hour doesn't really get much higher, even though the amount per battle is. But because using 3 obviously makes your team clunkier, and using 4 obviously makes your team super clunky, because literally the only thing is Ferris Raw with no mana generator. So it doesn't necessarily help you as much, even though your bonus is increasing the full amount. Because this bonus is additive. It's one of the few that is additive and not multiplicit. Same as Cedric. One of the reasons why they're so good. Because most of the other multipliers, like let's say Jinx, which halves the thing, it's multiplicit instead of additive. So they stack completely onto each other, which makes them very, very powerful. But it still has diminishing returns in that your team composition with 3 and 4 won't be as strong as with 1 or 2. But yeah, it's perfectly fine just owning 2. I don't really advise going much further than 2 unless you have almost everything in the game. And at that point, you probably wouldn't even need souls anymore, unless they were to change the economy to need more souls. But 2 is plenty. 3 is only going to be about another 5,000 souls per hour, if even that. And to my understanding, I believe 4 has no difference compared to 3. However, the playstyle of the team is different, and depending on if you prefer that playstyle, you might want that instead. Also, it's fun seeing a soul gain that's over 1,000, just for fun. Who wouldn't want to see a soul gain that's over 1,000? Of course, it's still going to be slower per battle. It is pretty funny to see. It's basically like a soul gnome every battle with 4 Ferris Raws. It's not realistic to really use, though. It's such a weird team because literally all you have is Ferris Raw, so the only way you win is skulls and super high mana cost abilities. But it is pretty funny to see. Especially since most of these battles we're only getting 11. And using a triple Ferris Raw team gives you a number about 100 times as large. So what's a good Iron Gut team? You finally got him? For Delves or just in general? Generally, if you're running him in Delves, the team is Mountain Crusher or Dragon's Eye, followed by Apothecary, High King Iron Gut, and then either Sylvanian Moor or Possessed King. If you're running it for PvP, you would want to run it somewhat similarly. The only main difference is you would end up running it possibly with an attack buff, because the reason you don't need an attack buff in Delves is because of the natural attack that you gain from the extra bonus from your level of your Delve, which is normally at minimum level 100 in most situations. So you don't actually need an attack buff because it basically has an attack buff just from that bonus. But you can put a Stargazer or something there if you really want to attack buff it to get it to a little over 50% and then get your Devour at a more consistent rate. But yeah, anything based around Mountain Crusher, Apothecary, Iron Gut is essentially the team to use with him. 4th slot can vary, and your hero weapon can vary between Mountain Crusher and Dragon's Eye, but basically every team is based around that premise. You almost always use Apothecary with it. One of the main reasons for that is you actually need Cleanse. If your Iron Gut gets entangled, he will have a 0% chance to Devour, regardless of his prior attack. He also can't gain attack while he's entangled. So 0% chance to Devour, and he gains no attack. So that's not good. So you always want to make sure you have a Cleanse. Make sure if he gets entangled, he can get it off. Plus it creates brown mana, which is obviously the mana he needs, as well as Mountain Crusher. But yeah, the answer to almost every team build, honestly, is almost Mountain Crusher or Apothecary, with how good brown weapons are. And just brown troops in general. Because Mountain Crusher or Apothecary covers so much ground these days. It's one of the best cleanse options in the game as far as like cheapness. It has great board control. Gives you basically infinite brown mana. Has complete board clear. You can use tanky hero classes with it, like Titan that gains Barrier every brown, or Sentinel. And you basically just have infinite mana for everything, particularly brown, but also just for any mana, since you're exploding everything. And you have really high extra turn chance between your board control and the Brown Storm and the Mass Explosion. You can often infinite loop. Well, not perfectly infinite, but you can get a lot of turn loops off of it. It's not an actual infinite team, but it is pretty good at sustaining for multiple turns in a row. Next hero class is coming out next Friday. Plague Lord is coming out on the 29th this Friday. We did not have any hero class event on Thursday. Why is everything so bad on this board? Let's take that for now. Nothing else really that viable. Take our red. How are you not full mana? Oh wait, what am I doing? You're already dead. There we go. Grab that, and down it goes. Okay. We have, let's grab a explosion. Take a purple there. Sunbird everything. If there was a mana generator top 10, your top 3 would be Apothecary, Giant Spider, and Gorgolfa. My top 10 would probably be Mountain Crusher, Leprechaun, and Bronze Lock Pistol. Not necessarily in that order, though possibly in that order. It depends on your team. Firebomb would also be on that list. Actually, we should probably do a video on that. It's been a while since we made a top 10 video. I think someone else that does YouTube videos recently made a Destroy video, but they didn't do one over overall mana generation. Also, I would slightly disagree with their list, but of course everyone has their own opinion on it. But overall, it was a really good video that he covered. I believe, who was that? That was Loot Wizard that ended up doing that one. Been covering some really good videos lately. Go check him out if you haven't already. Let's see. That over. Get a Sunbird down. Hopefully that's enough damage. No, it is not. Luckily we have a follow-up. And there we go. But yeah, if I had to say absolute best mana generator, it's hands down Mountain Crusher. It's not even close. Like, if you're going, like, based on overall factor, if you're just talking, well, I guess if you're just talking about just mana generation, it might be like Leprechaun or something else, just because of how quick of a speed it gets. Or even Firebomb in some situations, just because of how situationally good it is. Even Elspeth in some situations. But if you're just talking about best overall thing that is a mana generator, where you're basing it off its capability to mana generate, but also every other factor that has going for it, it is hands down Mountain Crusher. If you're taking in every single factor of the troop. Because Mountain Crusher you can set to any hero class, with any traits, with any perks, and it's the lowest mana cost mana generation that doesn't have Empowered. What do we take? Grab that, and dead. So no one else had the Gnome issue you've had then? Scroll up if the convo to see. Oh, sorry, Stacy, what was your thing? I didn't see what you mentioned. What did you mention? I didn't see what you mentioned. This was buried back a little bit. Stacy, I don't see your message. Where'd it go? Yeah, I don't see your message. We'll throw that down. Do different Delve teams have different best hero classes? Or are they all Titan? They're pretty much all Titan. Sometimes it's Sentinel, but they're pretty much all Titan. You can easily get away with all of them on Titan. Let's leave it at that. But yeah, if you wanted to switch, there are some specific situations where I guess it would be okay. But for the most part, yes. Literally every Delve can run with Titan Mang, or Titan Mountain Crusher, or Titan Dragon's Eye. Ever so occasionally, it might be better to use maxed out Sentinel. One of the reasons we need to go get it maxed already. Sentinel is basically the defensive version of Titan. Titan's the offensive version of Titan, whereas this one's the defensive version of it. And normally it's better to have the offensive version, because the benefits of Titan is compared to like both of their main benefits are they are both excessively tanky and versatile. The benefits that Titan has compared to this is it has Brownstorm at start. It has capability to Enrage, which allows you to ignore traits that might have 25% Reflect or Stone Skin and stuff like that, so you get to ignore their traits. And you also have that one explosion that you could use, as well as half mana start, which is probably the biggest issue, is the half mana start, the fact that this does not have half mana start. The biggest benefits to this, that Titan does not have, is 40% score reduction, Barrier at start of battle. So instead of Brownstorm at start of battle, you instead get to start with Barrier, which is really good when you're using Titan in first slot. I mean, when you're using Sentinel in first slot, because there's some situations where you can't take a Brown on turn 1, and you'd still be protected even if you can't. And the other thing is it has this Barrier, 25% chance to Barrier a random ally. One big problem that Titan has is it can't barrier other things on your team. However, Sentinel can. While it is luck-based, extremely luck-based, it does have the capability over time to barrier your team. And the other main benefit that this has that Titan does not is... actually, that's about it. That's pretty much it. I guess maybe +1 brown mana. I don't believe Titan has that, but that's not really too big a deal. But it's mainly the barrier at start of battle, the 40% score reduction, and the barrier, the other barrier aspect that makes it situationally better than Titan. But like 90% of the time, Titan is better. Okay, we'll throw Firebomb down. Because regardless, Sentinel is always slower to use than Titan. There's not a single situation where it's not. The reason why Sentinel is better is because it's safer. But it's always slower than Titan, regardless of what you're using it for. Titan might be riskier in some situations, but it's always quicker. Let's see. You currently only have Famine, and most of your kingdoms are working their way to 5 stars. You should save for Fairish Ra before Infernus. It depends. If you're planning on doing soul farming soon, yes, you'd probably want to go for Fairish Ra and start soul farming. It really just depends if you want to farm gold more or souls more. If you want souls, go use Fairish Ra and go spam it in first challenge Divinity Fields. If you want gold, then you probably want to build a team around Infernus for PvP and use that. It doesn't necessarily have to be Infernus as your PvP option. If you feel like you could build something else as a viable PvP option, then you probably just want to go for Fairish Ra. Yeah, that really just depends what you want to farm for the most part. Also, you could craft neither of them and go for something like High King Iron Gut and try running high-level delves. Once you own Titan at least level 40, Apothecary, and High King Iron Gut, you could theoretically do level 500 delves. It'll still be pretty hard, obviously, if you have low stats. But that is the minimum requirement to do level 500 delves. With enough luck, you would eventually be able to hit through every single delve where that team is possible. You'd eventually, out of pure luck, be able to get through. Well, not pure luck, but you know, you just go rush down to the last room and focus on getting that Devour really quick. and just win off of Kaki and Iron Guts Devours. And you might need Dragon's Eye in there too, but you get that for free off of 250 wins off of Dragon Guard, so it's easy to obtain. Which banner do you use for Iron Gut Possessed King team? Normally... I actually forget. Let's see, I believe it's +2 brown, +1 blue, -1 purple, right? Yes, +2 brown, +1 blue, -1 purple. The reason for the +1 blue is because it's really important to make sure Apothecary has at least +1. You could give her +1 to both her colors, but I normally go +2 brown, +1 blue, -1 brown. I mean, +2 brown, +1 blue, -1 purple. It's the Kraken banner. Other alternatives is green-blue, or any banner that gives any combination of plus to your Apothecary. But I normally just use Kraken, because that gives you the highest amount of brown bonus while still giving your Apothecary a +1. You just have to remember, if you have a chance to take blue or green, you should pretty much always take blue, since you'd have the +1 on it. We'll take that, grab that, Sunbird, dead. Did he really just have 3 queens? It's funny. Spider Queen's actually a little bit annoying. Not as annoying as Cockatrice. Cockatrice is actually way better than it. But they're both a low mana cost troop that has full mana drain. They're both low rarity. They appear a lot. Though Cockatrice is way more useful. Cockatrice, even this late in the game, is useful, whereas Spider Queen kind of becomes useless at a certain point. Or at least a lot less useful. No problem. Let's see. You have gotten only 1 vault key, and that was on Friday. You have 3 gnomes in 3 different games in Zhejiang. 2 treasures in Sparkle Sack, and ended up not getting anything from any of them. That's a little strange. You might want to report that to... So you basically killed a gnome and got nothing for it? If that is the case, then definitely contact support on that, especially if you have a screenshot of it. But even if you don't, definitely mention it to them. gemsofwar.com underneath the gemsofwar.com underneath support, underneath the submit a request in the top right. If you click that and then fill out that form and just let them know. And if you have proof, they might even be able to reimburse you as well for some resources. And even if you don't, they might be able to. But definitely mention it to them if you haven't already at that location. Throw that down. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it's probably just Zhejiang. Unless there is a... my bad. But yeah, if you see a gnome in Zhejiang, it's probably not a real gnome. Zhejiang has, for whatever reason, a ridiculously high amount of fake gnomes. If you ever see a bag in the top left corner of a... I mean, if you ever don't see a bag in the top left corner of a troop, it is not a real gnome. Actually, I'll go to Zhejiang right now just to show it. But only if it has a bag in its top left corner is it actually a real gnome. I am bad. I misunderstood what you were trying to say with the thing. I thought you got, like, actual gnomes. But never mind. But yeah, if you're doing it in Zhejiang, for whatever reason, Zhejiang is like 50% gnomes for whatever reason, or not that high, but it has the highest rate of any kingdom. Not real gnomes. Every single place has the exact same amount of real gnomes, but for whatever reason, Zhejiang has a really high number of fake gnomes. Let me go there real quick. Game will overload. Come on. But yeah, we might as well go grind there a little bit. It's actually a place where we need trait stones from anyway, so might as well. Main reason I wasn't doing too much there is because it gets really annoying. Because it seems like you keep getting gnomes, but they're not actually gnomes. Which is why, even though we need trait stones there, I wasn't grinding there. Well, we got Zolkiri enough that we can go switch to Zhejiang now. If I'm not mistaken, Zhejiang's actually our lowest trait stone. So it's beneficial anyways for us to switch over there. Hey, gnomes are goblins in disguise, pretty much. I should study how explore teams are generated. I probably should. There actually is a formula thingy for it, which I am not too aware of, that some people are. But, yeah. There actually is something that is based on for every single kingdom. Do you know where that data is? Feel free to send it to me on the Gems of War forum if it's private. But, yeah, I know that it does have, like, a certain thing going for it. Okay, that's a real gnome. That's not proving my point that well. But we'll see some fake ones in a moment. Let's see. for a red. But yeah, you can see he's real because he has a bag in his corner. Let's see. Come on, give us a fake gnome. As you can see, okay, here's a really good example. So that one's fake, that one's real. Actually, this is a perfect example. That's fake, that's real, that's fake, that's fake. And it's pretty obvious to tell in this situation because obviously he has a bag and these three do not. But unless they have that bag, they are not real. This is the only one in this team that's real. None of these other three will give us any loot. They're not actually gnomes. They look like gnomes, but they're not going to give you anything. So right here, we'll just get one drop, not four. But yeah, as you can see, there we go. The only the ones with bags in their corner are real gnomes. Zacian Arcane will be in Glory Shop on the 22nd. Well, that still doesn't change that it's our lowest one now, so we'll get some now. Might as well. Like that one, for example, is not a real gnome. We're not going to get any loot at the end of this battle. Or, you know, other than a normal explore loot. Or we're not going to get any gnome drop because it's not real. But yeah, that's how gnomes work. And obviously neither of those will give us any loot. They look like gnomes, but they're not gnomes. Okay, that one will give us loot because of the bag. And hopefully it'll give us a vault key, because even if it gives us loot, it has such a bad drop table that we might as well get nothing. Might as well be a fake gnome, because we're just going to be disappointed with whatever it drops. We'll take a red. Come on, vault key. Make it 17, lucky 7. Nope, useless drop. Might as well have dropped nothing. Okay, we'll take that. Get our explosion. I still don't understand why they made Jewel Gnome so bad. The only reasoning I can bring myself to why they made Jewel Gnome so bad is they accidentally made Glory Gnome so good and they didn't want to directly nerf it, so they nerfed it by adding Jewel Gnome into the game. That's the only reason I could possibly think of as to why Jewel Gnome is so abysmally bad. It's not even close. Like, there's basically 3 gnomes. There's like, I guess, I don't know, yeah, I guess there's basically just 3 gnomes. As far as tiers. There's Glory Gnome, which is the most perfect gnome in the entire game. There is Jewel Gnome, which is the absolute worst, not even remotely close to any other gnome as far as value. And then there's everything else in between. That is pretty much the tier list for gnomes. It goes Glory Gnome, every gnome, and then Jewel Gnome. With the Glory Gnome being exponentially better than everything else, and the Jewel Gnome being exponentially worse than everything else. Hey! And he's second best, because he can drop us really good gem-related resources occasionally. He does have some awful loot, but he also has some really good loot. We'll take that over. Also, we have gotten so many event keys. If we count every single event key we've opened from that, just from everything, I think we're almost at 3,000 event keys this weekend. You'd probably check it by the Friday video. I don't know if I actually checked or went to the key screen at all during that video. But if I did at any point, I should probably go double check, see how many we actually gained over the course of the weekend. But it's really close to 3,000. Of course, most of that was from Spoils of War, obviously. But we did get a pretty high amount, more than average, from actual gnomes as well. We got more event keys from gnomes this weekend than gem keys for once. Unless the other way around. And I honestly prefer it to be the other way around. I actually need gem keys way more than I need event keys, oddly enough. I would want to convert my event keys into gem keys if I could. Fortunately, there's no way to do that. Even if it costed like 100 souls or even 1,000 souls each in Soulforge, I'd probably do it. Definitely if it was 100. 1,000's a little bit pushing it. But I'm pretty sure we'll add more soul sinks in the future for stuff that we really want. Like, maybe we'll finally be able to convert mythic and legendary ingots upwards or downwards. Well, currently it's possible to upgrade them upwards, but there's currently no way to upgrade them downwards. And yes, I do mean upgrade, because currently the rarest trait stone is epic. Even though it's the 3rd rarest, it's technically the actual rarest to obtain. But if they added some kind of Soulforge convert for it, it would sink a lot of souls, and people would just sink their souls to get the epic ones. They'll probably do that eventually. Of course, what they're trying to do is get people to buy that $20 pack thingy, where they sell like 250 epic ingots for a pretty decent... Oh! Hey! For pretty decent value. But that's just because it's... The only reason it's decent value is because, for whatever reason, there's, like, no epic ingots in the game. There's no real easy way to obtain them. They're just so hard to obtain for whatever reason. But anyways, Gnome, not only a Vault Key, but a Vault Key off of Gnome. The one that would have given us no resources anyways. So I guess she heard us say her drop table was bad, so there we go. So that's a total of 17 Vault Keys, a total of 44 opens this weekend. Let's go claim it. Hopefully this is something good. Could you imagine if we get double major orbs in a row? We got a major blue off of our event this week from Invasions. So could we get another? Probably not, but you never know. Let's take a purple. As long as it doesn't gain full mana, it will be fine. And come on, something good. Something really good. Off the Cedric. No! Another copy of Cedric. It's like our 7th copy this weekend. 4 in one day as well, on Friday. We could literally have 2 copies of him fully mythic. If we had 0 copies of Cedric, we'd have the maximum of copies just from this weekend with how many we gotten. Because 7 is all that you need. 5 to ascend him to mythic, and then 2. Because no team ever runs more than 2 Cedrics. And for the most part, you only really need 1. But there are some teams that use 2. Mostly Bronze Lock Pistol and Skeleton Key, obviously. Though, who knows, maybe some other gold stuff in the future will end up using it. But anyways, guys, I think we might actually end it there. Because we're not going to be able to top that much. And, I don't know, I'm happy with 17 Vault Keys in the weekend. That's definitely not a small amount. That's actually above average as far as what we normally get. Loot, not so much, but as far as the actual amount of keys, it was. But, yeah, does anyone else have any other questions or anything? Otherwise, yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with a video going over all of early game, as well as the video, of course, just going over the normal event, as well as just making other announcements that we made during the stream, you know, like the new hero classes Friday and the Nintendo Switch release, most likely on Tuesday, or at least sometime this week, and stuff like that. But anyways, guys, hope you all enjoyed the last few hours of the Vault event. You still have 5 hours and 47 minutes to do more of the find more of the gnomes if you want to. But anyways, guys, I'll be back tomorrow night, same time as always, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 hour prior to now tomorrow. Leave a like if you enjoyed the stream, and I hope you all have a wonderful week. I'll see you all later. Goodbye, everyone.